forced myself to go home really after 4 hours, and they'd done all they could for me. Now that gave my wife problems, because she knew what the truth was, and that I actually hadn't really been diagnosed, and they were playing around with me in the hospital really, so my experiences weren't that clever either really. And so what my wife actually did after that, because she's a head teacher and so she's got to focus, then what she did is she paid for me to have scans and things like that in the Nuffield Hospital in Brentwood, and she paid for that out of sort of our money and so on, because she was quite disillusioned in some ways, but we know that it's come on a long way.
Yes, shame.
And yes, it has really. And just as an addendum, then the ambulance services, I was up in Durham, and then I had another incidence of this TIA, and I can remember trying to eat a bacon sandwich because this arm was no good, and I was trying with a plate in my hand like that to get the sandwich to slide down into my mouth like that. That's the state I was actually in. It's ridiculous really, just, but now I know what's going on. And like John really, what I've listed is some of the things that actually affect me. And so I think the first one really is depression. That I do get depressed very, very easily, and very tearful and watching television and so on. And my mood swings are really ridiculous, and they're just up the ceiling and then down to the floor and so on and so on. And so for me, my daughter's probably one of my best therapists. She actually is able to talk me out of this depression. And the other thing I like doing as well is I'm a classical music aficionado, as they say, and I love listening to classical music, and that sort of brings me out of it as well, because my wife is in school all day and she comes home about 8, 9 at night. I mean, ridiculous hours really, so I'm left to my own devices. So I do watch daytime television, and it's good. Well, I think so. So depression, certainly that's an issue. And the other thing is this violent mood swings for no apparent reason. I just swing around like a banana really, I mean like a metronome, just going one extreme to the other like that. And of course my way is the best way. There's no other way, is there really, because I know best, because yes. And another thing that I actually suffer from is impatience. And I don't suffer fools gladly. I'm really impatient. And that's a trait which wasn't me. Before the TIA, I was a teacher for goodness sake, and I was really very, very patient, and now patience has gone. It really has, and I'm liable to snap, which isn't me at all. So my wife actually says, I want Gareth back please, as I was before the TIA. So she's noticed it, definitely. And another thing, I've just got bullet points down here. I've got an unwillingness or unable to communicate about trivia. You know, friends, when they come around, they talk about what they went for a meal and so on and so on. I'm not interested. I don't know. I don't want to know. You know, it's irrelevant trivia. So I can't really make conversations anymore either, really. I'm unwilling to. I suppose I could if I really, really wanted to, but I don't do it anymore. So trivia doesn't know. And then, I don't know how to mention this because I'm Welsh and puritanical. Lack of interest in sex. It doesn't interest me at all, really, since I had my TIA, my stroke, and so on and so on. Not in the same way that we used to have a good relationship in terms of that, but now it doesn't work. And the other thing as well is the softer side of me has disappeared, and the more sort of female, caring side, that's gone. It's much harsher, much, yes, more like iron really, and it's not a good thing to be really. So I'm also less likely to see the good in people too. That's another judgment call.